the doco and everything that's taken place over the last year and a half, or however long it's taken really. So yes, so this is an exciting one and this is good. Yeah, looking forward to seeing and having a chat to the man himself. So what do you reckon there, Elliot?
Definitely.
You excited?
Yeah, mate, definitely.
You know what's really strange? There's about 18 dogs out here.
I don't think you see any, can you? Oh, you see one. The big numpty over there.
And there's only, one or two, and they're all sleeping, and look at it.
Idiots.
So...
Nice warm fire here, and everyone wants to go sit over there.
And there's only, one or two, and they're all sleeping. Okay. Okie dokie. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think... Oh, record. It's done? Alright, well, beautiful. Well, guys, let's not waste any more time and let's bring on the man himself. So, in about 2 seconds, we're going live with Eryn Wilson from New Zealand, on the other side of the world. I'm just joking, it's probably like a couple of hours away.
There he is.
Here he is, here's the man himself. G'day, Eryn, how are you, mate?
Hello, how you going?
Very well, thank you. So how's the weather over there at the moment, mate?
It's good, mate, but from what I hear, every time we see bad weather in Australia, we know that we're going to get it after you, so we always get the forecast based on what's happening to you guys. So at the moment, it's pretty shitty. But,
see, now you're getting lots of sunshine then, mate, because
beautiful.
We haven't had any rain here at all. The grounds have dried up and it's good.
Oh, wow. Oh, great. Well, yeah, our weather's not too good, but, you know, it's spring. We're into spring now, so hopefully it comes right.
Well, that's it. Same over here. I don't know if you actually recognise where we're sitting. Can you have a guess where in the actual psychology centre we are sitting tonight?
I can't tell whether you're over by where the pool was, next to the paddock next door, or whether you're over by the shed. I think you're outside the shed with a bit of light, from the floodlights from the shed, from the garage shining on you, I think. But maybe you're right over by the pond, you know, not in the pond, but beside it, by that big pool.
Well, we're sort of close. We're actually closer to the actual dog park section than we are to the pond or the shed.
Oh, wow.
We designed the whole place out the back here for summer. That's why you see all the trees that are in the back now have been all moved over, so it's going to create a bit of shade for the dogs.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it nice and shady for them once it gets really hot. So yeah,
It's going to be hot, I think. Definitely.
So can you point to the garage shed from where you are?
So
there's a bit of a delay. I'm
shed
just
where
waiting for the picture.
The shed where the pack sleeps is about 10 metres that way.
Oh, yep. I'm with you. Yep.
and the dog park is
Next to us.
2 meters away.
Actually, I don't think he was here. I think it finished here when he was here last.
Yeah, what I'm going to do, mate, I will turn this...
I don't know if you can still hear him. He's going to turn the webcam, see if you'll be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, right.
So that's half of the pack in there.
Does that mean that the house is over your left shoulder, Elliot?
The house is basically, if I'm looking straight up towards where the TV is, it's that way.
Ah.
This is what we have made tonight to be able to stream outside.
Yeah, this is your own little personal sort of setup, Eryn.
Ah, thanks.
This is us. This is all.
Ah. All right. Yeah.
Straight ahead, past
Yes.
that pine tree looking thing over there, that's where those big runs are, the big long kennels.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, hello, how are you? Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, can I type too?
You can, Eryn. This is all about you tonight, mate. So, here we
Oh,
go.
sorry.
So what we'll do, whoever talks pushes the button down.
Well, this is pretty loud, so I think if I turn down a little bit, it might not get the echo.
So
Okay,
what
but
I noticed,
Elliot here is trying something a bit crazy.
I was just going to say I can hear your voices really good, but when I'm looking at the video, there's a little bit of a delay. But
yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
right, because you're on Skype, so we get that direct, and there's that little bit of a
Yes,
delay.
of course.
Yeah, I can still hear him. Okay. So I'm assuming everyone can still hear us. Beautiful. Yeah, so just hold the.
So Eryn, talk for us for a second. I just want to check something.
Hello, check 1, 2, 3. The place is looking great. I can see green grass. I know it was raining over there a while back and it was getting quite muddy. And I was hoping that you're going to get some sun to dry things out.
And we did. We got lots of sun, thank God.
Yeah. Cool. It's funny. And I'll talk about the doco in a second, but we've been doing lots of editing lately, so
This is good.
yeah. It's like a slice of history.
Okay, cool. All right, beautiful. Now just have a seat, mate.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
So, got Eureka Dog, Eryn. Who says, hi, Eryn. She's Kiwi like you, mate. She lives on your side of the pond.
Oh wow! Which city or town do you live in?
It'll pop up on the chat there in a minute.
Okay.
Her name is Tash.
Tash.
Yep. So that's it there, Eureka Dog. She trains dogs over in New Zealand as well. So she's in the
Hamilton.
business.
Yeah, nice. Tash is
go.
about an hour 40 minutes from Auckland, so we're not far away from each other.
And that hour and 40 minutes, is that pretty much the whole length of the island, or?
Yeah, nice one. No, it's actually it's actually really close. There's a new expressway between Auckland and Hamilton now, so we're actually really, really close.
Okay, thanks Robin for letting us know. There's no echo at our end, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Beautiful.
That's good.
Cool. Well, we had a client recently drop off her dogs here, and she drove 26 hours each way to get here.
Well, cool.
26 hours.
Just a nice little drive.
And we're still in the same country. By plane, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, he keeps turning itself on. Okay, well guys, look, I think I'm as eager as everybody else out there, and yeah, to ask some questions, because yeah, I only had the fun parts of the doco, really, like playing around with dogs and getting on with my day, and don't have to go through the editing process or anything else that's involved there, but
we've done a little bit of that in just the YouTube videos.
Yeah, well that's exactly right.
Enough.
Yeah. So, I think, not sure what we're going to start. I wrote down a few questions or a few things that I wanted to ask myself. We had a few people write in an email. Well, man, someone should probably slow down when I write. I don't even know if I can read what I wrote here.
Oh, and someone complains about my chicken scratch.
Yeah, so we had a few people write in. So I'm going to go with a few of what a couple of clients of people that are fans and wrote in, but the one that pretty much stood out for me the most is, hi Eryn, my name is Jamie. What was your scariest moment while filming? Did you have a scariest moment, or what was the scariest moment? Was there any time that you were troubled or that you thought that you were about to get bitten?
Well, there are actually lots of scary moments, but we probably didn't tell Jacob. We were scared at the time. But one of the first ones that Jacob's probably aware of was that because we were pretty much strangers, apart from sort of being in touch via email. So my cameraman James and I turned up, and it was sort of on dusk, so there wasn't much light left in the day, and we turned up to Jacob's house, and he'd driven us there from the airport. So, you know, it's still early stages in getting to know Jacob, and he'd been doing something with the security lights outside. Something happened and must have popped a fuse or something. but there weren't many lights in the house. And when we arrived, all we could hear was dogs growling. And I was thinking, oh my God, like we've walked into some kind of organized crime thing where we're going to be held hostage, and the dogs, we're going to be attacked by dogs. And you know, I haven't told my mum that I'm even leaving the country, and not that I live at home, but you know, like mums always care where you are. And so, and it was only Coda, and I don't think Seven was inside, but there were dogs around, but it was Coda growling in the dark, and we were thinking, oh my God, I hope we don't get attacked. And we didn't, of course, and it was only Coda, and she's lovely, so that was fine. So that was cool. And then there was another time where there was a dog right next to the shed. It had only just arrived, and all this stuff's really vivid for me because I've been looking at it in the footage. So I don't know if you remember, Jacob, but I can't remember his name. But he was sitting, and you made me get like a little piece of chip and kind of crisp, and tell him to sit down and give it to him. And he was sort of growling and barking. I was like, I can't do it. He said, just tell him to sit and give him the piece of chip. And I just remember shitting myself. And of course, I wasn't very definite with doing it, and he was sort of growling, and I was sort of doing it because you told me to, but I was shitting my pants.
Yeah, that was Axel.
That's right, Axel. And so that was a time, and I guess the other times were like when a bunch of dogs, if you were out the back in the big paddock, and there'd be a bunch of dogs running towards you. There's always a moment where you're like, are they gonna like divert and turn off, you know, at the last second? Because there's like multiple dogs flying towards you. I'm like, they're just gonna take us out like 10-pin bowling, and then they'd sort of go around you or something. So there were always moments of like nearly thinking we're going to be taken out, but I to be honest, if I'm honest, I never felt unsafe. I've always felt safe around Jacob, and as long as we sort of did what he told us to do, I felt like we'd like survive. But when we first came, actually, there were 2 or 3 dogs just at the back of the house. And I think one of them, you said, will bite you on the bum if you turn your back. And it wasn't Angel, it was a different dog, sort of quite a big dog early on in the shoot. And so I was almost like getting piggybacked by Jacob. Like I was like, I know I don't know you very well yet, but I want to be really close to make sure this dog doesn't, like, wherever this dog's going to come from, like it doesn't bite us. So we felt very much in Jacob's hands. Like, you know, we had to listen to whatever he said and just do it, just to kind of survive. And you know, while it wasn't as dangerous as that, we soon understood when you're dealing with so many dogs at a time, their energy, you know, Jacob keeps them very calm, and so us making eye contact or patting them can start like a ripple of kind of energy that isn't necessarily wanted or needed, especially when we're filming. And so you just, you know, I tried to explain to friends that it wasn't a zoo. It's not as though if you're a dog lover, you'd go there and go, oh, look at all the cute puppies. Oh, there's another dog. Oh, come here, puppy. And, you know, patting a million dogs. It's because there are so many, it's actually almost the opposite, where it's like, ignore them, leave them alone. You'll have a chance to kind of pat a couple later, but, you know, as the dog lover, you've actually just got to kind of ignore all that stuff and just sort of get on with, you know, shooting the footage and not making a fuss of the dogs, even though you sort of wanted to. Because when there were that many, it became apparent that, yeah, you can get chaos pretty quick.
Yeah, well, that's right, yeah, because excitement will lead to aggression in a lot of dogs. All it takes is for them to bump into each other, but yeah, that's it. The key is to keep them nice and relaxed at all time. And yeah, once that initial stage of that excitement is over, you'll be able to pat them and just chill with the dogs. But yeah, no, that's it. It was full on. And this is, you remember Baloo, the little boy? Here he is.
Yeah.
He keeps growing this thing. Hey, look at you. Look at the size of your head, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was.
And
good.
is that a core? Is that a core or 7?
Baloo.
Oh yeah.
Baloo, you giant. Leave her alone. Baloo.
She's sound asleep as well. She was. Definitely a lapdog, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was actually a good question. There was another question which I think was very, very similar. Did you ever feel at risk? But I think you just answered that, the two questions in one. Okay, here's another question. Not sure who sent this in. It was a very strange looking email. Even the address was a bit strange, but tell us a little bit about yourself, and are you single?
Oh,
Exactly. That was probably from Elliot sending it in from some sneaky web address.
that's not from Coda, is it?
That was strange. So yeah, tell what. So I guess, well, tell us a bit about yourself. Like I guess
Yeah.
the things that you want us to know, of course.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm married, and my wife is pregnant, and with our first baby, and I'm 42, and I live in Auckland, in New Zealand. But I grew up in a small town called Taumarunui, which is in the King Country, which is a very small town. And I moved to the east coast to Mount Maunganui in Tauranga when I was about 8 years old, and I went to primary school and high school there, and then I did a performing arts course after that for 2 years, and then I got into drama school in Wellington, which is the capital city, and I was there for 2 years. Got a diploma in acting, and then I went back about 3 years later and got a third year, did a third year to make it a degree, which, I mean, acting's such a practical thing. It's all very well to have the paperwork, but, you know, yeah, it's one of those things you can either do or you can't. And as a sort of creative type, as you sort of get older, and like I did acting on, you know, a bit of TV, a little bit of film, but quite a lot of theatre work. And you travel around New Zealand, and then I wanted to stay in Auckland, and you just end up kind of needing to diversify and have a few strings to your bow so that you can sort of pay the bills. And I guess creatively, one of the things I wanted to do sort of as I got older was to sort of direct something. And I was looking, I was kind of keeping my ear to the ground for the right creative project. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people already know this, but my mum, I mean, we're a family of dog lovers, but only ever kind of 1-2 dogs at a time, never the scale that CBE has. But my mum had been following Jacob on Facebook and YouTube, and she actually texted me saying, have you seen this guy online? And I hadn't been tuned in at all. And I started sort of following Jacob's work, and I was like, this guy's, there was something about Jacob that was really intriguing to me. Here's this man who wears bare feet and shorts, and he's like, and a CBE t-shirt, and he's like very Australian and kind of like outdoorsy, and had tattoos up to his neck and this beard, and kind of hoops in his ears, and he is surrounded by dogs. And I was like, wow, what a kind of like a powerful kind of image. I was like, this, I found Jacob immediately interesting, and I thought, wow, I'm genuinely interested in dogs, and I thought, I wonder if I could like get in touch with him and see if he would be interested in like maybe doing some kind of documentary thing about what he does. And I honestly thought, like this would have happened already, and you know, like, but you know, might as well. And I emailed Jacob, and you know, a couple of days later, because I didn't get a reply for a couple of days, and I thought, oh shit, you know, I shouldn't have done that, it was stupid. And then I got a reply saying, yeah mate, you know, it's been flat out at the moment, finally getting back to you. Yeah, we've got, I think Jacob said how old he was, how many dogs he had, how long he'd been doing it, and within like 2 sentences he was like, come over, stay as long as you like, and let's do it. And I was like, I remember saying to my wife, Tawila, I was like, oh my God, like, I was sitting on the couch with my computer, like, that guy Jacob, he replied. He said just like, come over. And I'm just like, and she was like, well, awesome, you should do it. And I was like, yeah, yeah, I should. Okay, okay. And I got hold of my mate James, who's a cameraman, and I said, James, look, like you don't have to pay to come over, but like I'll pay for our flights. But I've been wanting, because I'd talked to James about this, the cameraman. I said, look, I wanted to direct something, and I was like, maybe this is that thing, and I think it's a documentary, and do you want to go over for a few days? And he said, yeah. And so we literally jumped on a plane, and I've still got the footage actually of James with my iPhone at Sydney Airport, filming me meeting Jacob for the first time.
Yeah,
And
that was awesome.
I'd left James behind with a whole lot of baggage and like the like airport cart thing, and we just walked away looking for an iPhone place to get a SIM card. But that was the beginning, and yeah, here we are now. Is this the second year? Did we start in maybe February, like a year and a half ago? I feel like. Yeah, it's about a year and a half.
I'm just a bit bad with stuff. I'll have to ask the wife.
Yeah.
Jenna would know everything.
Yeah.
Because Jenna was the one who initially saw your message.
Yeah, right.
And we both go, I wonder who this girl is that wants to make
Oh,
a
yes,
doco
Eryn,
with
yes.
the name Eryn.
Story of my life.
I never knew anybody with the name Eryn. Some lady wants to make a doco, and I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, it might be a joke. But then I clicked. I remember clicking on your profile. It didn't give much away, so I googled straight away to see who it was. And the first picture that popped up, I don't know if it's you or it's a lookalike, but there is, I think it's David Bowie or somebody in that photo. I don't know. Look, it's.
We should have found that photo and we should have put it up.
We should have, yeah.
Put it on a side by side. It would have been
yeah, so I did a bit of research and I looked, and then I'm like, okay, let's have a look. So I googled, and then I went into that IMD, whatever that is.
IMDb.
Oh yeah, IMDb, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I saw it, and I saw a couple of pictures, and I'm like, geez, this guy looks weird. And I said, anyway, let's reply back to him and see what he's got. If he's interested, he's interested. If he's not, he's not. And yeah, that's why I said, I'm not gonna sort of talk when did you want to do it. So that's why I was straight out. Yeah, come out whenever you want and stay for as long as you need. That was it. And I said, if he wants to do it, he'll come out. And yeah, funny enough, what did it take? About 3-4 weeks after that, and you were out here?
Yeah,
That's what he said
at the most, yeah.
Yeah. And this guy hasn't left yet, yeah.
I live here now.
Bloody weirdo comes over for a job interview or to have a look at the place and have a chat, and he gives me a hug.
Shattered that ice, mate. That ice was gone.
You must be a Kiwi boy at heart. We're a lot more touchy-feely over here.
Don't think so, mate.
Nah, he's Oh, there you go. As Jenna just replied, I was 4 months pregnant and Delta is now 1 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
5. Yeah, it's like a year and a half, a solid year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, and because this is the first. I mean, what had I done? I've got a production company, same kind of team of guys that shot the doco, and our producer back here in New Zealand, Gareth. Him and I used to play in a band together, and now we've got this little company together, and we've made a few done a few corporate jobs. So we were looking for a creative something, like something that was not a corporate kind of video that had no creative fulfillment, and so this project was definitely that. And so it was very much stepping into something that we didn't know, I didn't really know what it entailed, and it all, every time we came over to Rouse Hill and then came back to New Zealand, you kind of learn a bit more and you look at the footage and go, this is great, but a great director in New Zealand who's sort of my mentor, Grant LaHood, he said to me, have a plan of what you want to shoot, and then be prepared to sort of go with how it just pans out. Don't try and control it, just sort of cover what, just go with it. And then he says you also hope for some magic, which is sort of an X factor that you didn't really expect to come across, that you end up filming or whatever. And so that's so documentary is very, I don't know, it's kind of like you have an idea or a hunch about it, and then you sort of go on the journey, and then you end up with what you've got, and then everyone had said to me that the documentary comes together in the edit. The story or the sort of vision of it
Sorry, mate. I don't know if you can hear, but we've got Malika in the background dreaming.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hear.
That's him. They've had a big day running around, the poor buggers. They're all passed out.
Oh, is that a microphone? It looks like a beer bottle, like you're giving him a drink.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is the microphone that we've got now.
Jeez, you've got all the flash gear.
Yeah.
So we just sort of followed it along, and people say to me, because I thought I wanted to make a documentary about dogs specifically and types of training and statistics on euthanasia and bits and pieces. And then I was kind of like, well, that's fine, but there's so much of that stuff out there, and I sort of wanted something more than that. If people are going to watch a film, you can watch old Cesar Millan or a million dog shows. And I was like, there's something else. And what I realized, and I said to Grant, my director mentor, I said, I'm really interested in Jacob and who he is, and Jenna, and the staff, and also the kind of lifestyle that's involved, and what it takes to do this, and how you don't just wake up in the morning and decide that you don't want to do it anymore. Like, there are 35 dogs on the property, and it's a whole different thing to what people who love dogs can ever imagine.
At the moment.
Oh my God. Like, it's just like, it blows me away. And it's, I do think people don't understand, and that's what I like to think would be a cool thing about the doco, is that people get an insight into your world, which is very different to how I reckon people think it is. They think you're living in a great world where you get to pet dogs all day. It's like, no.
It's different.
It's hard work.
Yeah. So going back on what you said there before, there was something that you said there that was sort of interested in, so you were told that sort of like, look out for that wow factor that you sort of not really looking for. Do you think that you got that wow factor that you might have been looking for, or that should have been there? What do you reckon?
Yeah. I think I did. I mean, wow factor is quite a kind of it's like a wow is quite a big word, But like, there's definitely a thing about I feel like we definitely got an insight into you, Jacob, as the man who's in this world, and Jenna in terms of her support and as a partner. And because I remember thinking, I don't think my wife could do this. This is like, it's one thing for it to be Jacob's passion, but for Jenna to be into it, and she, she loves her dogs, and she was there working as well. But as a partner, once again, you don't just do it for a month and then go, okay, now we're going to have a holiday from it. It's so constant that I just think it's really, really interesting.
Just quickly check your chat there on the stream up, Eryn.
Yes, Jenna, of course you will. I wasn't. You know that's what I thought, but I just couldn't say that.
Yeah. Oh, wow, cool. So there's another email, another question that was pretty cool. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. How did you come up with the name for the doco?
I was having coffee with Grant LaHood, who's my sort of director mentor, and we were talking about the content and what I was sort of planning to do, or the initial ideas of what I might start to do in terms of what we're trying to film, and we're thinking about names, and you can be too clever with the name of a film, and people are kind of like going, oh, what's that about? Whereas he said, you've heard of the saying, man's best friend, dog is man's best friend. He said, well, this guy Jacob, he sounds like he's dog's best friend. Why don't you just call it that? And I'm like, I love it. Like, it's matter of fact, simple, easy, makes complete sense. And I was like, yeah, that's of course. And once you hear the title of the film, you sort of know what you're in for. And to me, that's what it is. Like, it sums up what it is. It's and there are some things that we've filmed how do I put it, that are the opposite to being dog's best friend. And I don't mean in regards to Jacob, I just mean some of the other footage we have that's not at CBE. You know, when you think about that footage and then you see dog's best friend, you're like, hang on, no, we're not. You know, that's the way humans treat dogs in a negative way. I wanted to kind of reflect. I like the name because it actually, you know, Jacob is dog's best friend, but we also filmed stuff outside of CBE that were clearly not dog's best friend, and I just liked how the title is either for or against its own name. You know, like we either see positive stuff or we see negative stuff. There's not a lot of negative stuff, but there are a couple of things that we filmed early on that we're going to keep in, which are just kind of, you know, maybe shocking to some people, but I feel quite unapologetic about showing the stuff because it's reality and it's how dogs are being treated every day all around the world by the hundreds of thousands. And we were lucky enough, I might as well say we were lucky enough to go to a pound and film dogs being euthanized. And we filmed 2 dogs. One, the dog, I remember showing Jacob the footage,
Yeah,
and I said, what do you think about this dog? And you said, mate, there's nothing wrong with the dog. And you know, we filmed the dog being put down, like the complete process. And then we filmed another dog, and she was like very nervous, and it was very hard to read her, and she was like sort of slinking around and growling, and she also got put down. I don't know her backstory, but if I hadn't have been holding a camera concentrating on filming the footage, it was pretty kind of full on to do and upsetting, but we couldn't have saved those dogs. Like I suddenly thought, hang on, maybe the documentary is about me saving these 2 dogs at the beginning of our filming of the doco. But they were too far gone in terms of the legal process and through the courts, and you know, we couldn't actually save the dogs. And I remember actually saying to Jacob, you know, like, do you reckon, could you take on this dog? And you were like, yeah, of course I can. But you were kind of like, good luck with getting it into Australia. And of course, I looked into it, and a dog with a history like that, you can't even get them you can't get them out of New Zealand and into Australia. It just wouldn't happen. So
yeah,
it
no,
was
I
sad,
remember
but,
that. I was,
yeah.
I was hoping that we could have done something with that dog and get her out, and but it is hard, isn't it? Because it's some humans just don't trust dogs, and especially if it's a sort of a certain breed. That's it. It's just one look. That's all it takes, and they get judged on that first look, and that's it. It's not necessarily the way it's supposed to be, but so that was that was a good thing. Yeah, I've always wondered that myself. Why that name for the doco, and that was something I always thought too.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. Okay, here was a good one. This is probably one of the best ones there. So this is, I don't think this is necessarily about the doco itself, but more about you. But what drives your passion for film? Why this industry?
Film is in the industry that I'm in as an actor, you're often on the other end of things where you're kind of like auditioning for films or TV or theatre shows, and someone else is telling you yes or no, and you get to an age and stage where you go, hang on a second, I actually want to take a little bit of control back and kind of you know, make something and create something myself. And film, one of the biggest things about this documentary is that I could, you know, once it's out there, it's
Talk.
the dogs know we're talking about passionate things. Yeah, you could drop dead tomorrow, and no one can take the film away from you. So for me, it's about making something that is a slice of time and history, and will stand forever. And you know, it's kind of like your legacy, I guess. Like CBE and the work that Jacob and Jenna and Elliot and the crew do is very much their legacy. You know, you make a mark and leave a mark after well after you've gone. And for me, filmmaking is about beginning to have some control creatively, but also to leave a bit of a legacy and make a documentary that people will remember. And when we're looking through the footage, we've got Apache snapping a fishing rod, and Hades and Baloo running around like absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's like we sort of we captured a slice of history, and that's how I feel this documentary is. It's like, a couple of the staff that there are glimpses of aren't even there anymore, but and the dogs are younger, and there's different dogs now as well. But yeah, it's a slice of history, yeah, yeah, I'm just passionate about it. I'm at a stage in my career where I want to make stuff.
We've just been invaded here.
Hey, it's like Christmas. There's a dozen dogs there. I can't believe how big Baloo and Hades are. Blows me away.
Hades, hold on, Baba. Come on. Move, Hades. Why are these dogs so heavy to move?
I've got to take a photo of that.
Everywhere. Oh, here we go.
That was a head. That was a head. I hope you guys heard that on the camera now.
Hades, just sit down, Baba. You can't sit on the computer, mate.
He farted.
Yeah.
That was Elliot.
Must be a pretty bad fart.
No, this is it. It's trouble in paradise now.
Stop it!
Guys, sit down. Sit down. Or nobody gets food tomorrow morning.
I don't want to kiss. I don't want kisses.
Okay, here we go.
I don't want kisses.
Oh, it's just these big white ones. They're just so heavy.
Oh.
Baloo and Hades are just too heavy to move. Like when they're leaning up. Stop. Gotham, sit. Or move. Stop licking, mate.
You're really off me.
Zeus, sit down. You go and drool somewhere else. No, leave the microphone. This is.
I used to be able to hold you like a baby.
Okay, sit down. Oh, baby Gotham.
Oh my lord.
Not in the mouth, mate. Okay, stop. This will be over in a minute. Hopefully they all go back to sleep. Or just disappear. Back to where they came from. No. Thank you after you. I saw you eat poo before, mate. Don't kiss me. No. Baby Gotham. You're a giant.
Delicious.
Okay. Here we go. What about this nugget? You remember him as a puppy? He was so small.
Mate.
Look at him now. Muscles.
Yeah.
35 kilos is about 2% of body fat. Crazy thing. Yeah, I thought he was going to be a puppy forever, Gotham, but nah, it didn't work out.
We've got this funny footage of him at the on the edge of the pool, licking Jenna to death, and he still does it.
Yeah, he hasn't changed at all. Not in looks, no temperament, nothing.
Hello.
Oh, guys, that's my
I
arm.
heard what you did.
Hold on.
No kiss.
Up. Oh. Okay.
Squishy face. Squishy
Okay,
face.
LT, move. Sit down. Sit. Don't chew the computer.
Face.
Watch this Rottweiler, mate. He picks up things and he
He's
takes
gonna pick
off
up
with
that
them.
laptop and take it with him.
What are you
Go do
doing?
some homework on
He carries them
stocky,
around.
stocky change. Baloo, what is this? You're not a lapdog.
Okay.
He is.
We're being invaded.
Oh, someone's stinks.
Baloo.
It's you, Elliot. Don't blame it on the dog.
That's chicken, mate. I haven't
You
had,
know it on the dog.
I haven't had chicken.
Okay, come on.
Why? So he's doing that thing Malachi does when I'm pregnant. Touches my belly.
Stop. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have
You
to
touch my belly too? Oh.
have to get it. Stop.
You still
Sit.
like a fart.
Sit.
Why do you still like fart?
Sit, LT. Come on.
He did, that's what he did.
Like a fart.
No.
Come in. Up. Zeus.
Oh Jesus. No lapdog. Oh, it's my baby. Hello.
Sit. Open. So I don't think you've met this guy here. This is Alcasai, Eryn.
I think I saw little turtle and Alcasai as little puppies right at the beginning.
Little turtle's here. He's almost as tall as Baloo.
No.
Yeah, they're not little anymore.
Wow.
Wow. Leave it.
Robin, the Roddy's Altair.
Altair, you can't take the camera.
There's pictures of him as a little puppy on Facebook, and he grew up and he would just try to take the camera with him.
There goes the microphone. Altair, you can't carry stuff away, mate. This is ridiculous.
This is amazing.
Guys, trying to do something here. Oh no. Oh no, they've locked on me.
Oh.
Hades, can I have my drink?
Eat it.
Okay, is this microphone still working?
No idea.
Yeah.
It is, okay, beautiful. All right, well, I think we'll just ignore these buffets for now and keep going. We'll go back with some of these questions.
Sit.
Okay, so I got one who's, are you working on anything else at the moment? Do you have any other projects at the moment that you're doing, or any animal projects that you're doing?
Nothing. No, I don't have any animal projects. What am I doing? I'm doing like a corporate job. We've just finished it. Just finished it this week, just gone. And that's kind of like a pay the bills type kind of job that I've been working on for a few weeks. And I have submitted like a short film, like a fictitious scripted film idea to get like $10,000 to try and make that in New Zealand, but you know, it's a bit of a long stretch of an idea. But no, this is the only kind of thing like this that I've ever kind of attempted, and it's until this is finished, I can't really afford to take on, you know, too much more. And I guess what we did, because we did a Kickstarter campaign, and a chunk of the money went towards our editor, James, which is a different James, and him and I, we sort of got to the end of our sort of 12 weeks of editing, and then after he sort of signed up to finish the film, but we'd sort of finished paying him, so the rest was kind of, you know, for love sort of thing. So he's gone and done a few paid jobs and then come back to the film. And so it's been really great actually, because it's quite good to step away for a minute and then come back like 2 weeks later and then go, right, what have we got? And you see the whole thing with fresh eyes and ears. And so what I realized, this is the other learning thing, is that I realized that the filming of anything is the fastest part, but the edit is actually like, there are lots of stages to post-production. And so lots of people have said, oh, when are we going to see it? When are we going to see it? And I honestly thought we were going to see it, you know, 3 months ago. But the truth is that we're working backwards from it being ready. There's kind of like the post-production sound mix, and where they basically work on the sound, get rid of any sound that we don't need, put in some...
Sorry, Eryn, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second. Can you
Sure,
still
mate.
see us on the stream?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, because LTE just picked up the
Baloo
thing.
decided to try and walk off.
Oh,
Yeah, Baloo just walked up. We just lost everything here, but that's fine. As long as you guys can still see, that's good.
yeah. I just saw Eureka Dog said good things take time, and it's kind of true. Like
Yeah.
you can rush it through, and I mean, look, it's a little bit like you know, dog training. I'm sure it's like you can spend a couple of days, give the dog back, but you're actually, you know, you're not actually doing, you're not doing good by the dog. And it's the same with the film. You could give it the once over and get it out there and move on, but it's like, well, we actually want to take time and make sure it's good and the best it can be. And like it comes right down to, at the moment, like I looked through the edit the other day, and the editor's gone through, and he knows the footage pretty well, but it wasn't there in Australia when we shot it. So sometimes I'll say to him, mate, at 16 minutes 34, when you're introducing the dogs, there's a better shot of 7, and he'll be like, okay, can you find it for me? So I've had to go back through all the footage and all the GoPro footage and all the days that we were there, and kind of try and remember. I was like, I think it was visit number 2, but and then just go. You've literally got to fast forward through all the footage to kind of find the bit. So it gets that specific, so that when we see 7, we're using the best footage we can find of him and the stuff that I remember, you know, being the best of him. So, and that applies to the entire film. So, yeah, it's really fiddly. But my thing is, like, once it's out there, it's out there. So, and I won't be able to change it. So it's like I might as well do it now and get it exactly how we want it. Because once it's out there, you know. But it's going to be cool.
Oh, well, that's exactly right. I do. It's even with dog training and rehabilitation, there is no such thing as a quick fix. The more you want to get the dog in and out, the more you're going to sort of cause more damage than anything else. There's a lot of understanding that goes on behind it. And as you said, yeah, it's exactly right, mate. You might have a certain view on how something should look, but somebody else looks at it and go, no, this is a bit too personal maybe to you, and you might need a bit of changing and stuff. So yeah, so it's there's definitely, like I say all the time, there's no actual time, or there shouldn't be a time frame when you're doing something and you want it to work and you want it good.
No.
There shouldn't be too much. There shouldn't be a time frame.
Not thinking that.
I mean, I think I you know, like, it's probably my own fault. I probably kind of, in terms of the momentum of the thing, I was like, great, we're going to shoot it, and then like 6 months later, it's going to be out there and done. And what I've realised is, like, there's the edit, and then there's the colour grade, which is going through every frame and making sure it's correctly exposed, and then there's the like putting filters on to sort of give it a certain look, and then there's the sound mix, and then there's the, you know, and I didn't know about all the processes, but what you end up with is like, that's why a film looks like a film and not like a home shot video, is that it's got all that stuff, that's the time and effort and technology that's gone into it. So without I hope it doesn't sound too far away, but at the moment my goal is to have it done and dusted before Christmas. And I know that seems like miles away, but it's you know, I can safely say, because I've lined things up now to a point where I go, it'll be definitely done before then. But to say in another 2 weeks would just, I'd be lying, because it's just such a long process. And the other thing is that when I hand it over, I'm not necessarily driving the speed of those other processes. Like, those people are doing it, you know, properly and well, and when they think it needs to be done. And so I've sort of got to step back a little bit and let them do their job. So, and sort of trust a bit. And it's like our editor, James Brown, believe it or not, that's his name. He's awesome. He's been, you know, he talks to me about the dogs now as though he knows them, but he kind of does, because he's seen them so much in the footage that he's kind of like, is that Baloo staring at the screen?
No, it's Hades.
Or Hades staring at the screen?
Blue was looking before like he wanted to eat you. Alright.
Oh.
He went to sleep now. He let go.
Yeah. Our dog Monty has he's gone deaf. He's completely deaf now. Like
You sure it's not selective hearing, mate?
Wow.
He doesn't listen to you anymore.
He's just sick of your
Yeah. I've done the old Jacob thing of like going right by his ears, and he just ignores me.
Can you do the
Hey,
Jacob whistle?
you know what's even funny now? We've got Delta running around trying to click her fingers.
Yeah.
She does it. She puts her hands up and she
does
starts
this.
rubbing her fingers together all the time. Yeah, so
appetite.
that'll be good. But let me see what else we got here. What have we got here, Gotham baby? Baby Gotham. Hold on. That was it. That was that one. Here we go.
He's located you on the screen. Oh, there you go. You over it?
I can't even read this.
Is that Elliot?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. 2 doctors in this house.
I'm aware
Learned
that
doctors.
This is a house of learned doctors. It's not who you know, it's what you
Okay, so we want to know. There's Shelley wants to know, how can we keep an eye on the progress of this documentary? Do you have something dedicated to the progress of it, or where can we look at what stage we're at and so on?
Well, absolutely. So we had a Kickstarter campaign to raise the funds right at the beginning, and then since then we've kind of had a Facebook sort of Dog's Best Friend Facebook page, and they're both. I mean, you know, one's Kickstarter and one's Facebook. And what I wanted to try and do is kind of to help sort of harness the audience for the doco, is to get sort of people's email addresses or information so that we can actually market to people and go, it's on now, this is us actually talking to you, da da da. And I just wanted to, I don't know, sort of, yeah, be able to sort of let people know when it's good to go, but them know that it's, you know, just a bit more of a personal approach, I guess. And so that's where the Dog's Best Friend website came up, idea came. And so the best, actually, I mean, Facebook, yes, but I often put, you know, I'll put some dog videos or something cool that I think's, you know, online on there. And then I'll, Facebook's a little bit like a, saying hi, little bits and pieces. And then Kickstarters, like I don't really go onto the Kickstarter website anymore at all. But the Dog's Best Friend website, I've sort of tried to like keep it like a director's blog of where it's at for me in my head. And we're about to sort of get to the end of a draft, which is quite a big sort of progress point. And then I'll put up a blog of kind of what's happened so far. And so I feel like the Dog's Best Friend website, which is www.dogsbestfrienddoco.com. So friend and doco, that's a 2 D's but side by side.
Yeah, it's just on the bottom of the screen. Just down
Yeah,
the bottom
right.
here,
Of course it is. I reckon that's the best way to keep in touch. And also, Jacob and you know, and Jenna and Elliot at CBE are a lot quicker off the mark than I am with their kind of online presence. So, look, if you want to know what's going on, I mean, you know, Jacob and Jenna and Elliot are going to know as quick as anybody. Having said that, if you want to hear it from me in terms of the director, then Dog's Best Friend website is probably the best way to go. Facebook, yeah, too. But you know, if anyone ever wants to know anything, feel free to message me through the Facebook page, or you know, just yeah, I'm totally up for people getting in touch. But
Yeah,
we're getting there.
You can actually subscribe to the website, which is a really good idea.
Yes.
And that will keep you updated and posted with everything that you need to know, which is really good. I subscribed, yeah, because I'm as keen as mustard to know more and more. So, yeah, that was awesome. That was good. Okay, so we had another question. Where can we see it?
Yeah. So this is kind of the
this will be a first for me as well.
yeah, this is the plan. This is the kind of the plan in my head at the moment. So first of all, the doco gets finished. Then the doco gets seen. First of all, like the kind of premiere, if you like, will happen in Australia. And we've had a few kind of like cinema contacts given to us by Jacob, but the idea is to find a cinema complex somewhere that's hopefully not too far away from CBE, where we'll actually approach them, and it's a lot easier to go to a cinema than to kind of have it, just because they're set up for stuff. And so what we'll do is we'll end up having like a cinema screening. It'll probably be a one-off, I think, and but people will be able to come along. Off the top of my head at the moment, I'd love it to be a like a fundraiser for CBE. So you know, maybe people can come along and either pay $10 or I don't know. We haven't even thought that far ahead, but you know, as well as just seeing the film, I'd love the money to go to CBE. I mean, we've got some money in the budget to pay to go to the cinema, so we'll take care of that. But in terms of people coming along, it'd be great to kind of, you know, for it to be an opportunity to raise a little bit of money for CBE and the great cause that they are. So that's kind of the initial thing, is to be seen there, and then we've sort of got a couple of other things. One is kind of like people being able to get a copy of it, you know, whether it's through CBE or us, or sort of getting a DVD, or maybe it's a download. It's like a link to download it online, which is probably a lot easier for people to just click on a link. What I think we'll do in terms of it being seen in New Zealand is actually showing it at the film festival in New Zealand, which isn't until June next year. we've just had our International Film Festival in Auckland, and June next year will be the next time that they have another one, and I'd like to submit it to be seen as part of the documentary section of the film festival here. And likewise in Australia, there's the Melbourne Film Festival, there's Sydney. I mean, there are lots in Australia. I'd like the film to kind of be seen at festivals. So first of all, there's kind of like a CBE, family, friends, followers kind of screening and kind of fundraiser, which will happen in Australia, in Sydney. And beyond that, I'd like to put it into a festival in New Zealand, and then and at the same time in Australia as well. The Australian one might come first, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But what happens with festival film, you have to kind of like submit it, and they have to accept it, and then it gets played. So it doesn't just automatically get seen. With the getting a copy of the film, we have to be a tiny bit kind of like under the radar with, if people get copies of the film through CBE, that's all cool, but I want to try and keep it a little bit separate from it being in a festival, so that it doesn't, the word doesn't get out too much in a public sense. So it's kind of like showing at a festival and then people getting it through CBE at the same time. So it's a bit of a balancing act. But I mean, look, once it's out at a festival, it's out there. But it's kind of like some festivals want your film to be the premiere. So, and that's part of their criteria. So that's kind of the balancing act of going, well, getting it through CBE and customers and followers of CBE, I can't see that being a problem in terms of them getting copies of it. And if once again in terms of fundraising, if CBE want to charge a fee for people getting copies of it, that to me that's what it's all about. I don't want to make any money out of the film. I'd love to be able to get an opportunity to make another one because this one's so good. But money-wise, I'd like to fundraise at the premiere, for CBE, and also for CBE to be able to like sell copies or do whatever they want to do. So yeah, I to be honest, I haven't thought a lot about it, but the thing about the festival circuit is that it's kind of can be an international platform for the film, and suddenly you get an interest from overseas, and then the film starts getting a bit of momentum, and then it's publicity for CBE, but at the same time I can get some momentum as a director and maybe make it easier to get funding to make another one. So festivals are good for us as filmmakers, it being distributed through CBE and our Facebook pages and whatever else is just a way of getting it out there to the people. But I haven't thought. In fact, I need to talk to Jacob about like a price point and going, well, you guys, sell it to customers or include it with dog training or do whatever you want with it, but the other thing is, like I was saying before, in terms of the X Factor thing, and I was talking about Grant LaHood, the film's, it's not just about dogs, so it's not about how to train a dog, because for me that wasn't enough, and it's more than that. It's an insight into the people and the world and what it takes to live a lifestyle like this and to look after all these dogs. And we saw all these beautiful dogs, and there are dogs that aren't alive anymore that are in the doco, and there's some really nice, while sad, there's some really lovely things that we've captured that you don't know you've captured until you actually end up editing it together and you're going, wow, we actually got this and this, and since then this has happened. And that's what I was saying before about it being a slice of time. Yeah. I think I can't wait for actually Jacob and Jenna to see it, to go, oh my God, when we first started filming, Jenna was pregnant with Delta, and so
and this nugget, Gotham, was tiny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he keeps pulling everything. Hold on.
I remember him. He was pouncing at the GoPro and attacking Coda.
Yeah.
She is so patient with him.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we've probably answered a few of these questions, but I'll just say them out just in case people are watching and they wonder why their questions happen. But we did have a question that said, how long did it take the whole filming of the doco, but I think we've kind of hit that one on the head there, probably about a year and a half all up.
Yeah, I think there were five. There were 5 visits, and we stayed. I think the longest we stayed was about 5 or 6 days, and the shortest was during your wedding, I think, which was 2 nights and 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
So sort of, what's that? About 18, 19, 20 days of filming over about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Another question was, what is it all about? But you did answer that pretty much before.
Yeah.
It's about me.
It's about Jenna.
And how awesome.
It is a lot about Jenna.
Yeah.
It was very. There's a great piece. I shouldn't give it away, but there's a great thing where well, I don't want to give too much away, but Jenna says, I have to be honest, I wasn't that happy about someone coming to work here, and it's just like the way it's been cut together. It's just very funny because Jenna's sitting in front of the fish tank with a pregnant belly, and Gotham's upside down as a puppy sound asleep, and she's just like talking to us, and it's just very funny, just the way it's been edited together. There's a lot of humor that you guys have naturally. That comes across without you even thinking of it, which is actually awesome to edit because it's like a gift. It's very funny. I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, well, after the first few times you were out, I had to keep reminding myself that the mic was connected and it was recording everything.
Yeah, I had to say to the editor, like, just sometimes Jacob knew that he was on with the microphone and he was saying all sorts of stuff that you shouldn't really hear. So when that starts happening, just mute that line of audio.
Yeah, I just wanted to test your mental strength, whether you would give in and start laughing at weird times, but no, you held up pretty good, mate.
Hey, I've actually got a new subscriber to the Dog's Best Friend page. I wonder if that's from tonight.
Hope so.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Yeah, so that's a very good thing. Yes. So that was that was good, mate. We're talking about sort of like wow factors or parts of the doco that sort of stood out, mate. I've got to say, hands down, the part that stood out the most for me was James, the cameraman, in the pool, fully clothed with his socks on.
Yeah.
I did not see that guy take his socks off once.
The best part was he goes, I'm getting in the pool, and he said, what?
It was Stuffy Girl.
I don't know what that was about. Like,
It was
I
really
was
hot.
shocked.
Did
And
you
not
not
to
hear
me.
him complaining about the heat all day?
He was wearing tight leather pants, and then he just decided to jump straight in the
Not
pool.
to-
It's so hot. It's so hot, blah blah.
Not to mention the clients.
Oh.
Yeah, straight in with clients.
That was weird. It was just weird. Like, but
Still
also
convinced he has
hopping with his
moves.
clothes on. But don't forget, remember he wouldn't take his socks off.
Yeah, I'm
You,
convinced.
you
he has
wasn't. You
moves.
weren't allowed to
I
see
don't
his
think he
feet.
even
I was just like, I don't like. That's not a New Zealand thing. That was a weird James thing.
Good character, that one was good.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
entertaining. Goth.
No, it was really, really good. Look, it definitely was a very good experience. Like, I've been asked a few times by different clients and stuff. Was it strange being filmed and stuff like that? And no, even though I've never done it before, it was never weird. It never sort of looked at it that way. I've never even really paid too much attention to the camera, if that makes any sense. It was just, it was just you, James, walking around with this plastic thing on his shoulder the whole time. But that was it. It's it was actually pretty cool. It was a good experience. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it made a difference. The fact that we kind of lived with you guys, the fact that we stayed there, it just became kind of like mates hanging out.
Yeah.
In fact,
well, that's
I
right,
remember having to talk to James sometimes and go, mate, just don't get sidetracked by PlayStation. We're here to film a documentary.
Yeah.
I need you to like be ready to, because it's so relaxed that it's very easy to just kind of like chill out and forget why you're there. But James did a fantastic job of the filming. Like, there's so much great footage that I didn't even know he was filming half the time. There's that famous whistle. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, no, nobody else
Luckily
heard
the
that.
stream didn't have to hear that.
My
we-
ears did.
We stopped the stream for a second. Sorry, guys. I had to whistle for the dogs. They're barking. I don't know why.
My ears hurt.
So yeah, so that was no, that was really really good. In the doco as well. I don't know if it's was edited in or out, but yeah, we saw a few people come through here, I guess, for work. A few volunteers, and there's a there's a few shenanigans, potatoes, and things and so on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like we've yeah, it's once we've finished the edit, I'll send it over to you guys so that you can give it the once over with your eyes. But there's some funny stuff, some very funny stuff. It's and you'll go, oh my god, yes. And I think that's the thing for you guys, that you'll go, oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of stuff that happened that was just funny because that's what was happening at the time.
There was an email from a Jane.
Hello.
I wrote down her last name, but I think I was in a bit of a hurry and I can't even read what it says. But did you guys do a bloopers reel?
Well, actually, that's my. I want in the credits of the film, as we kind of like the credits are rolling and we see kind of who's involved and bits and pieces. At the end of that, I'd like to put in a bloopers reel, and I need to go through and kind of like find it all. But there's plenty of stuff in there. Two things stick out of my mind. One is me choking on whiskey at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Please
which got
note that
filmed.
we don't condone drinking early in the morning.
Yeah, and the other thing is that we never filmed was when. Do you remember playing football in the back paddock and someone kicked the ball and you went running for it and you landed in that kind of clamshell plastic thing full of old water?
I remember that. That was
fountain.
I jumped up to head the ball, and I was so focused on the ball, I landed in the pool. But
Yeah.
I saved the mic.
Yes,
I held
you
the
did.
mic in my hand out of the water. It was, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was awesome. That was that was I think Shane and we're playing with Shane and James.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we meet the dogs, like there's lots of dogs you've got now that we don't get to see. But it's like I say, it's kind of like a slice of time. So while we could try and include modern day stuff, it kind of was what it was at the time. And
Well, that too. It captured the time that the doco was filmed in. That's it. It's going to be there forever.
Yeah, and what's cool is that a lot of what you're talking about is happening now. You know, I don't want to give too much away, but there's lots of cool stuff that's in it that ended up, that you're actually actioning. It's like the dream is happening, and so I get to like look at the edit and the history, but then I get to kind of see live day to day what you guys are doing, and it's like, you're doing it exactly the way you said you were going to do it, which is awesome.
Okay,
Look at Gotham, he's such a smoocher.
While you were here, did you have a favourite dog?
Yeah, I did. Well, I did it to start with. Seven, I guess, because he was kind of like the poster boy, and kind of he's such a beautiful dog, and I guess he was the first. I always get confused with Amstaff and Pitbull. He's a Pitbull, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the first kind of Pitbull that I'd kind of sort of befriended, I suppose, and they're so affectionate, and much more affectionate than my own dog, who's a border collie. And then Seven slept in the caravan with me one night in my sleeping bag, and stayed still all night. Like he slept there the entire night inside the sleeping bag with me.
Hey.
And our dog would never do that. You'd never get him to do that in a million years. And then the next morning, Seven decided to leave, and he just pushed the door down and left. And I was like, oh, it's like a bad date. He just ditched me. But Seven and then probably Coda. But the more we came back, the more you started to see the personality of the other dogs. And while it's kind of sad to say. I have to say that since Achilles passed away, we've got so much footage, and that I've been looking through and accidentally come across him, that I sort of overlooked him while we were there. But looking at the footage of him now that we've got it, I was like, what a beautiful, affectionate boy he was. And that's another sad but great thing, is that we captured footage of him, and he's in there too. And I guess that's part of that slice of history thing. It's nice that we sort of got this record. There's the thing where Jenna's like, where I think you're in early stages of labour, Jenna, and you're out the back kind of walking around, and Achilles is there and the dogs, and then you've got a radio mic on, and you're walking around the dogs, and they're all kind of like bumping into you and running around. It's just a really lovely kind of, awesome thing that you wouldn't capture otherwise.
No, he was good. Like, Achilles was definitely an awesome pit bull. Like, they don't come around very often like that. I know all pit bulls are beautiful and stuff, but he was definitely something, that dog. Like, it's for him, like, for something to actually bother him, it actually had to affect him personally, like, it's directly. He was never really bothered. Like, I remember cutting trees, and the tree falls down, and it misses him by about 5 centimeters. He didn't even get up to look to see what it was. It was that type of dog. It was just extremely chilled and constantly relaxed. Hey, Zeus, come here. Come here, sit. You are not a lap dog, and we are not doing this. Lay down.
It's because I started
All the way.
crying.
Go to sleep. Good night. Stay. Yeah, he gets these.
But
He's Zeus, that he's a lap dog, so he tries to climb up on top of people and sit on their legs, and you see the people get off the chair running away, and they start falling down because their legs are numb.
No.
Okay, Little Turtle and Gotham, you both go into your room in 5 minutes. No food.
Do you remember Gotham? You're in the pool, and I think you might have been in there with Roxy, or it might have been one of the dogs that stays during the day. But Gotham just jumped in, and and you're in there with the dog already.
Baxter.
Yeah, that's right. And Gotham's wagging his tail, and it's like leaps in, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" I'm kind of like,
he was in
water,
it.
but he'd do anything.
Yeah, Roxy's here at the moment. She's here with us boarding. The owners, Matt, they went to Thailand. I think they went and got married.
Oh yeah.
So so they're off on a good time.
And how's she? Is she sort of still?
Yeah, she's good. No, she's good. They ended up rehoming Lola.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that was it. It's just that the two dogs together were just sort of a bit of a strange mix of just a really. But yeah, no, we've had Roxy. She's really good. She was good with our dogs anyway. She played with them all the time. It was just the two dogs together. But we don't want to spoil too much, because we did get some good footage of that. I remember those two in the doggo.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was good.
What else can I tell you?
Well, what else can you tell us? Well, excuse me, I'm not sure what that was about, but I've got a question myself.
Yeah.
Who is Tim Dibley, and where did he come from? I need to know, because I was searching YouTube once, and this thing popped up, and I'm like, geez, it's Eryn. No, it's not. And mate, I was come here. Come on. Come here. Yeah, that was a bit
bit of a shock.
I was very surprised. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Tim Dibley is a character that I came up with a few years ago, just as an idea for some YouTube videos. He's a casting director, so he's always looking for actors to be in films or whatever. And because I've done a bit of casting work here in New Zealand, I kind of know that world. And so I thought I'll pretend to be this guy who's a casting director, and Tim Dibley. He's just call him an alter ego if you like, but it is me. But it's It
was that was definitely
being someone else.
Very, very interesting. I think, not too sure, because the message was a little bit. I'm assuming this is somebody who's coming from overseas. If they're looking to sort of get into that field of work that you do, they want to sort of either become an actors and a directors, what's the right step to take to make sure that they go about this the right way?
Well, I think this day and age, because cameras are so kind of easy to get hold of and cheap, and with a pretty good quality of image, I would suggest to people to actually pick up a camera. In fact, it can be an iPhone, it can be a phone these days, and just film some stuff, you know, and you know, maybe get some basics editing software and just be practical about it. Like, start to make your own stuff. I mean, yeah, you can go to film school and rack up a, you know, $10,000-$20,000 student loan. I mean, in New Zealand we get sort of government student loans, but you sort of have to pay them back. But people get into debt studying, you know, and so I'm like, if you want to be a filmmaker, find something that you're passionate about. And look, I think this applies to everything in life. If you're passionate about it, research it and just start doing it. There's no, you know, you can have all the credentials and paper in the world to say that you've studied something, but actually putting it into action and doing it is where it matters. And, you know, I mean, part of me goes, oh, why didn't I do this years ago? But I think I wasn't kind of mature or old enough, and I probably hadn't sort of figured out what I'm interested in and what I want to film and what I'm passionate enough about. And, you know, yeah, I just think just do it, just start doing it. You know, and you just get better by doing it. I think the problem these days is that with this sort of X Factor, The Voice kind of star mentality, everybody wants to be famous straight away, and it's like, it's not about fame, it's not about profile, it's not about everyone knowing who you are, it's about being passionate and into doing what you're doing. So, you know, you got to ask yourself why you're doing it. You know, I guess it's like dog training. Why are you doing it? To be popular, to earn money, to also, like, you are doing it for the dogs. I'm making a documentary because I'm passionate about the documentary. I mean, I'm into dogs and that's my subject matter, but I really want to make a really good documentary, which is why it's kind of, I'm taking time to make sure it's really good. But you can't, if you're driven by anything else, like I want to be famous or I want everyone to see me or then it's the wrong reasons and you should give up. But follow your passion, no matter what that is, whether it's photography. If you want to be an actor, that's another thing. I think there's a lot to be said for going and doing some training, and there's some great acting schools in Australia, and it's tough. It's really tough. So, you know, I think carefully about that. But yeah, I think just doing it. You know, a lot of people kind of put it off and kind of wait for, I don't know, suggestions or inspiration or being told by someone else. But at the end of the day, it's got to be self-made. You just got to make the stuff yourself. You know, just get on with it.
Cool. So we got a question on the chat from Staffy Girl. She said, was there anything that surprised you, Eryn? Was I surprised? What surprised me?
I don't think I was ever surprised by anything.
What, not even when I jumped on top of you while you were asleep and I went, surprise?
Well, do you know what? By the time I knew you well enough for you to do that, you actually didn't surprise me when you did it. I was like, oh yeah, that's just all part of being here. That's what Jacob would do. I don't think anything surprised me. I mean, in terms of the dogs and what you do, I found it really interesting. And the thing that I can't get across enough to people is how different it is to be around so many dogs to what I thought it would be. Like, it's especially these powerful breeds, you know, where they're so strong and powerful and there's so many of them. And, you know, it's one thing to be around one or two dogs or a few dogs at the dog park, but, you know, 20 dogs at a time, it's like, whoa, it's a whole different energy. It's a whole different feeling. And awesome, because I'm like, some people will never have that. Some people will never experience that. And I do feel quite privileged to have been around that many dogs and that much dog energy, and I can see how it's the life. Just before, when the dogs are going nuts and being all around you and waggy tails and licks, I'm like, that's such an awesome thing that the rest of the world doesn't have. And that's the special thing about CBE, is like there's this constant, the dogs are just like really loving and happy and chilled, and it's just like one big party, like, yeah, it's a pretty special place.
When we were doing the pack feeding, because his face was just, your face while we were standing there doing the pack feeding was great.
So,
Yeah.
if we were to say, what is it, a year and a half on pit bulls?
Oh, mate. When I come up against when I walk in the street with my own dog, or I'm walking along and I see a pit bull and the owner, sure, I'll glance at the dog because I'm interested in what breed it is or what sort of dog it is, but then I immediately look at the owner, I look at their body language, I look at how I think they might be, how they are with the dog, how much energy the dog's got, like there's some rough-looking dudes live around our neighborhood, and they walk their dog twice a day, and these are, like awesome dog owners, and the dogs are amazing. And people cross the road to give them a sort of a wide berth, but and then you get these other guys, who I just, and girls, who I go, your dog, like, you're not in control of this situation. And look, I'm the same with my own dog, Monty. I thought I sort of knew him and was in control, but I'm not really. And he, there was a point where he'd race off to another dog. I couldn't stop him from doing it, and I'd run over there and been a few scuffles and stuff. And I'm like, shit, I just didn't, I can't stop my dog from running off to another dog. I can't go leave it and he'll leave it. And so my whole thing with is to go, the next dog I have, I mean, Monty's 14 and a half, but my next dog, I'm like, I want to put a lot of time and energy, all the time, but especially early on, to kind of like set up a good base, I guess. But I'll be getting in touch with you to ask you about stuff, because
Maybe we can do a Skype session, mate.
Yeah, well, it's really what I realise is that you're doing it every day, all the time, and it's consistent and it's patient, and it's there's no quick fix for these things. That's why these shows on TV where Caesar turns up, and 5 minutes later the dog's fixed, and they cut to the end with the dog's perfect 2 weeks later, and you're like, that just doesn't happen like that quickly,
No, it doesn't. No, that's right. It doesn't. So, mate, your next dog, what do you reckon? What are you going to get?
Well, you already told me I'm not allowed a staffy or and I keep saying it.
Owner, mate.
Well, I keep saying to my wife, Jacob said I don't have the time or the lifestyle to put into it. But stuff, I'm going to start staying home, and I'm not going to go and work anywhere else. So, but I don't know. I think just because Monty's a collie, I think maybe just like quite a different breed next time.
What
I don't
about
mean
a greyhound, mate? I love greyhounds. I think they're perfect for pets.
Yeah, I'd be worried that they, might see some Shih Tzu walk past and have them for morning tea or something.
Nah.
Something.
Mate, those dogs are very chilled out, beautiful animals. I'd definitely recommend greyhounds for people that really never had too many dogs, or as a first dog. They're usually quite, obviously always get training and advice and research, but greyhounds are pretty cool. They're laid back, chilled, very lovely, really good looking dogs. I love them. And I'm not sure why we don't even have any here, but definitely they're good, especially if you don't have a lot of time and you only have like 2-3 hours a day. That'd be a good dog to have.
And I guess pit bulls and amstaffs and the like. When I first saw them, I kind of went, oh, they're not very good looking dogs. But now when I see them, I'm just like, oh, they're just beautiful. Like, I can see all the amazing things about them. And at the moment I'm thinking greyhound, ugly rat dog thing, horse, but I'm like, oh, maybe you actually get to love them. They actually are quite beautiful once you get to know them.
They're big too, mate. They're massive. They're awesome animals. But look, it's definitely, like, I'm just biased and all that, but yeah, there's not a dog out there that's better looking or better temperament than a pit bull. Other than them stuff, they're just, yeah, I think it's just the way that, or the world that we live in, but yeah, I just love them, and that's why 80% of the pack are all bullies. They're Amstaff, pitties, Staffies, wouldn't have it any other way.
I just keep bringing
What do
you
you reckon?
home. I just bring you home, and I don't even.
Have you still got Jack? He's the oldest, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he's still here, mate. He's still been a pain in the butt. Do you want him? We'll send him over to you, mate.
Yeah, you could probably put him in an envelope.
Oh, mate.
I'm sure we can make him fit.
Yeah, he still goes around biting all the big dogs in the legs. Like, seriously, some days we sit there and wonder, like, why is it that nobody has ever turned around and had a go at him?
Yeah, no one.
Never. He bites them on the legs, on the face, he
Everywhere.
chases them around.
For no reason.
Like, mate, you're old. You're like, what, 12 years old? Relax, have a sleep. No.
See, I reckon he bites them and they turn around and they're like, "What was that?" And they can't see
They
anything.
can't see him. He's below their eyesight.
Yeah, mate. It's definitely an interesting breed. Yeah, Jack Russell Cross Chihuahua. It's they're very interesting and full of beans. Like, he's a very determined dog, that's for sure.
And I can hear the frogs in the background.
Nah, I think they're crickets or something. Oh, we got goats as well, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 2 goats. One's pregnant. Not sure if it's gonna have 1 or 2 babies, but I thought she was about to pop a couple of weeks back, but obviously not. She's not ready for it yet. But yeah, no, we got the goats. I called one of them Uncle Si because he reminds me of Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
It looks like him, so we called him Uncle Si.
And do you use is that sort of for training with the dogs around sort of animals like that?
Truth to be told, initially I got them for as a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they're horrible, mate. They only eat the grass that they want. They don't eat it all. They're very picky.
Yeah. And I can imagine it would take you
we
3.
do training with the dogs. Like, they're pretty cool with the dogs. Like, the dogs now are getting to know each other. There's only a fence separating them, so they go over. But you get the dogs like Bam Bam. He's just got bricks in his head, that dog, and he's going to end up getting headbutted one day really hard because he goes over and he tries to lick his horns, and yeah, it's not going to end well for Bam Bam one day.
It's like, I can imagine if you use a goat as a lawnmower, you pick it up by the back legs. It's going to take about 4 days to mow the lawn. Like, go, eat, go.
Yeah, no, it was, but we got the rabbits, much better lawnmowers, mate. They'll clear out a field within a couple of days down to the bone, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also, that's what I was going to say is that I'm trying to think of some of the dogs that we sort of. Oh, actually, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I was just going to mention the dogs that we sort of followed through on the doco, but I won't give too much away because. Yeah, there's probably not as many bullies as I would have liked, but that's just. I mean, look, if we lived there for 3 years, we would have got everything all the time, you know. Yeah. But it just ended up that we, like with Lucy, and we got I think Buff was in there, and Roxy and Lola, and a few other dogs. But it's interesting that we touch on all that stuff, but yeah, there's a lot more to it than. It just been about dogs, you know. Yeah. I was always looking for that sort of X factor, and it's for me, it's equally as intriguing to get an insight into the world, you know. Like stuff like we go with you to the abattoir to get dog meat, and just you're talking about how much you go through, and it's like, oh my god, this happens every day. It's like. Or however many times a week, or however many times you feed them, but it's like that's a lot of food, man, and it doesn't stop.
At the moment, it's 50 kilos of meat a day.
Wow.
50 kilos, yeah. So they do eat a lot. We do make sure that they get the best food, and that's I just can't bring myself to feed them kibble. I just can't do it, mate. It's so meat for everybody, and they're very healthy. In Subiaco there on the ground, mate. You can see them in the camera. They're shiny all the time.
Yeah, totally. Their coats are amazing.
The vets, when we take them out to get desexed and stuff, the vet he's seen our dogs over and over again, but he does say, he goes, mate, these dogs are of a different sort of category. They're on a different planet. They're always fit. They're always in peak condition. Yeah, you could set your clock by. They're supposed to wake up after the anaesthetic in 50 minutes. They wake up in 50 minutes and goes and they're ready to go. They're not drowsy. It's there's just a lot of conditioning and a lot of it comes down to the diet, the conditioning, the exercises that they get. And then the dogs as well. We've just been very lucky with all these guys that they're just so cool. They're chilled. Yeah, they're just awesome. The only thing that's out of whack here is Elliot. He's weird.
Yeah, I've always thought that guy's a bit strange.
He is. So that's another thing too. Like, how did you guys feel? Say, because I remember the first time you got here, I came out and I got you guys from the airport. I think it was the second time. I sent out Emma, and then I sent out Mark, and I sent out Elliot. So it was always a different person picking you up. And
when they sent me out,
I wouldn't necessarily tell you who was coming to get you.
I didn't even get told where you were. I got go to the airport and pick up Eryn. I didn't know where you were. I had to go through Facebook to find James, and then message James to say where are you, because your Facebook didn't work because you didn't have a SIM card. And then his Facebook wasn't working anyway, so just by chance
his Facebook doesn't work at the best of times.
Well,
I sent him a message about 2 months ago.
Just by chance I saw him walking around. He was walking around like this in the terminal, just face down, like this. What are you doing, James?
Messaging James is like writing something on a piece of paper and actually burning it and throwing away the ashes.
In the ground, walking around.
There will never be a reply.
I got a reply the other day. No,
Did
I
you?
did. I did.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Does he have feet or hooves?
Only because I called him not a very nice name. I was like, hey, beep, beep. And he's like, hey, lass. And I said, what does that mean? And he goes, it means beep, beep in English.
Okay. That happened.
That's how I got in touch. Just call him a nasty name.
No, he's good, James. I've texted him a few times. I haven't seen him for a while.
No, our conversation turned into Nintendo somehow.
Oh, yeah. He loves his games.
I don't know how that happened.
Bam, bam. Go to sleep, mate.
Oh, and then about the potato gratins.
Oh, yeah, yum. Oh, that's the other thing. See, that's the sort of stuff that you don't, that isn't in the doco, is like the amazing food that we ate there while we were filming. And we'd be on the plane flying to Australia going, I wonder if Jenna will do the potato. Well, no, James was like, I wonder if Jenna will do the potato thing. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I'm just hoping Jacob's got like gummy bears or something in the garage.
Always.
Hey mate.
All right.
They're always here.
Oh
Never
mate.
without lollies, mate.
I was in heaven.
Over
I
my dead
constantly
body.
buy lollies.
But I do remember once that we were all sitting down for dinner at the end of the day with the volunteers as well. Shane was there. That we filmed of us sitting down eating, and then I realised that James had set up the camera specifically so he wouldn't be in at the sneaky bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That'd be right.
Yeah.
He's good at that. Mr. Hooves.
Mr. on his phone all the time, talking to his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
And we'd all
Yeah,
make
they're still
fun of him.
they're still together.
Wow.
They're still
Oh,
together.
nice. That's good.
Really?
Oh.
That's interesting.
What else? I'm just trying to think. If there's anything else I can tell you?
We're just making fun of James now.
How many showers did you have to have? I see. Eureka dog.
He didn't shower. Don't lie.
I think over the 5 trips, I think I had 3.5 showers.
Pong, you guys think.
Yeah,
And
we take water restrictions very serious.
Yeah.
Well,
I shower every day.
You've got to do your bit.
I'm not like these bums
I
that
think-
use antibacterial.
I think about showering every day, and it's the thought that counts.
I forgot what a shower was since I started
They
coming
found a new shower. It's antibacterial hand sanitizer. It eliminates the stink. It really works.
I just let the dogs lick me.
It does work.
But like, do you put it everywhere or just on your hands?
Yeah, pretty
On
much
their
everywhere. You just put up with a bit of the stinging pain for a while, but
Head burns.
Oh.
it
Like
cleans.
acid.
But it
cleans.
works. It works.
It's
and
like
that's
acid.
fine.
It kills 99.9% of bacteria.
Yeah.
And then Jacob just chucks on some new deodorant and it's good to go.
Deodorant.
It's ew. At least Jacob wears deodorant.
That's right.
But it works.
I don't have a bedroom.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You have a caravan.
I have a bed.
Yeah, see?
Oh, so you do stay over.
I live here,
He
mate.
sleeps in
He
here.
lives here. I have to. He's like another child.
Oh, cool.
Go to
You
sleep
got extra
now.
extra security at night.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one, Eryn. That was
So
cute.
there you go. See,
Uh.
Eureka girl says that Chris will agree. Showers are forced. That's right. You see, people, why would you shower? Like it's. I think it's very unnecessary to shower
Listen,
every day, twice a
Jacob-
day.
No, I have to say, Jacob doesn't smell. And if he does, I'll say something politely maybe. And
Like you stink.
he'll deal with it. And we're good.
Or about, oi, dude, you stink. My bad. That's it.
Oh, Staffy girl. No, I didn't get a Dyson. I got a Hoover. It was $150. And it's amazing. And I'm really happy and I love it. It's really good.
They're talking gangster talk. They're talking about Dysons and Hoovers. Who knows?
Someone's gonna get shot in a minute. What is happening?
I'm not sure. Oh, they're sleeping. They're like.
We've got a fried chicken over
Alka-Sy's
there.
taking over. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah. So, well, that was all the questions that we had. I think from people that send them in. You guys watching at home, if you have any questions for Eryn that you want to know, believe it or not, we did bring the phone out here as well. I don't know my phone number, unfortunately.
8606
I don't even own a mobile
Who
phone.
knows it?
And it is what?
02-8608-6428.
That's the one. So if you guys did want to call in and ask him
It's
a
all the way
question, you
there.
can. Otherwise, you just send another. You can send a question in your chat. But yeah, it looks like we've covered pretty much everything. And
When are you
Don't
coming
make
back
it move.
over? Is the next question.
when is he
Wow.
coming back over?
Yeah, are you coming back over before the release or not?
Well, the thing is, we've got we're having a baby, and
Right.
Yay!
I promised my sister that we'd come over and say hi.
Yeah, I still remember where your sister lives, mate. I can drop you off.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
You can still sleep over.
No, you can't. My caravan.
Oh no, he sleeps
We'll
down.
probably have another cot by then, so it's okay.
well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure is the truth. Having said that, when it screens over in Australia, we'll be there
Yeah,
for
good.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll be there for that.
Is Who's
um,
coming as well, or just you?
Who?
No, at the moment, myself, James, and our producer Gareth. That's the plan. It's the three of us to come over.
Coolies.
And but yeah, but before that, like between now and say when the doco's like finished, the edit and all finished up, I'm not sure that I'll be over there before then.
Can you tell me the terminal next time you come, so I'm not walking around like a headless chicken at least?
Oh, that makes me
So what?
sad.
Can you tell me the terminal at the airport, so I'm not just walking around?
Oh yeah,
Is that something I
that's a good point. I see
Yeah,
that
was
Staffy
weird,
Girl
man.
says
I
need a
walked around
Melbourne
for like 20
screening.
minutes.
Well, there's actually the Melbourne Film Festival. See, because the thing is, it's all very well to kind of like distribute the film and kind of like have like kind of sell copies of it or whatever to followers or customers or clients or whatever. But the best place for any film to be seen is actually on the cinema screen. So in terms of Staffy Girl saying need a Melbourne screening, absolutely. But I'd love to see it at the Melbourne Film Festival where it's actually up on the big screen, Yeah, it's doable. It's totally. We'll definitely we'll submit it.
I've seen you on that Bingle ad.
Single?
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
That was the best
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my life when I saw
Was
that.
that the one where he was breathing in the bag, but the bag wasn't moving?
Yeah, that one. No, he wasn't breathing. Yeah, the bag was just...
Come on, mate.
I'm actually I'm auditioning for a commercial on Monday for what's the sandwich shop where you go in and they make you a sandwich?
Subway?
Subway. And
What?
it's shooting in Brisbane.
Amazing.
The subway guy.
Shooting in Brisbane.
Yeah. Is that far away?
That'd be the new
The
Jerry.
Yeah, don't be the new subway guy.
No. Don't do
No,
that.
just a couple of guys in the shop. But I just wondered if it was very far away from Sydney.
Brisbane.
We can
Yeah.
fly there.
13 hours, mate.
30
Hey?
drive.
Yeah.
Me and Jacob will fly there for the day.
That's in Queensland,
jo-
buddy.
You're joking.
No, mate.
No, mate.
That's Queensland. That's a different state.
It probably
Yes.
That's about
Oh my
the same
God.
distance away as Melbourne is from us. Give or take a little bit.
That will probably take the same
It's
to
about the same.
fly from New Zealand to here than it would from here to Queensland, nearly.
Well, yeah, well, New Zealand to Sydney is about 3 hours 40 on the way over there, and 2 hours 40 on the way back. So it's faster to come to New Zealand or go to Sydney from New Zealand than it is to go from Sydney to Brisbane.
It's quicker to go from New Zealand to Sydney than it is to go from Sydney to WA, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I mean, I knew Australia was big, but I didn't know it was that big.
It's a big place.
We're just used to. Hey guys,
What's happening?
we live here.
Oh, the guy across the street put a big light on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Eryn, I really missed you. I want you to come back.
Yeah. I'll definitely be back.
My morning friend who'd come and get coffees with me.
Oh yeah.
And I'd show him off and go, "This is my famous friend Eryn."
I wouldn't say famous. That's
and then
being
he really
kind.
wanted to drive my car.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a Holden, mate.
He really wanted to, but
Have you still got it?
yeah.
Yeah, we still got it.
It's
yeah,
still
it's
chugging
still-
along.
Yeah, it's still got 4 wheels. It's good somehow.
It just won't fit all the kids soon.
Yeah, you'll need a people mover.
Okay, Staffy girl.
We're getting a what do you call it?
Territory.
A minivan.
No!
We're getting a
Never.
Tarago, mate.
No! I will never have a minivan. Ever.
Chuck all the kids in it.
No! Four-wheel drive. That's good. No minivan.
So we're getting a van.
No,
We're gonna
he
put
can have a
cages in the
van.
back for the dogs and the kids.
There you go. He can have a van. I'll have a four-wheel
We're
drive.
getting a bus.
Yeah.
That's a long way off.
All right. Well, guys, I think we've come pretty much towards the end of the show because everything was answered, I believe.
Yeah.
And all the questions will. That's it. We've got no more questions. Get a Hummer.
Oh, that's true. No! It doesn't even have 7 seats. It's still got 5 and it's really small inside. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, guys.
That's it.
I replied, Stuffy girl.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It was good. Yeah, well, definitely. Thanks for making the doco, Eryn. That was good, mate. Thanks for
Yeah.
For
having a
stopping
crazy
by.
moment and
Thanks for
shooting
stopping
out.
by.
We'll definitely get you
We miss
back
you.
on the stream before the doco's actually out. Maybe you can give us a release date whenever
Yeah, mate. Absolutely.
you know what's going on. And
Yeah.
I think that'll be good.
Is that Malachi asleep on the
Yeah,
behind dinner?
Yeah. Had a big day, mate. They were
You're gonna walk
You
off
know,
passed out at some point
Being
earlier
dogs.
today, snoring, all of them. There was heaps of them snoring this morning.
Yeah.
That's nothing more than to walk away with this right now.
Oh yeah, got out to
Look
here,
at
there,
him.
the Rottweiler.
Give it to me.
He loves just picking things up and he just carries them and leaves them. And he wants the keyboard.
You can't have it, but like this. Okay, now you can't have it.
Nice. All right. It's 23 past 11 here. Unfortunately, I have to work tomorrow, which is a bit of a bummer, being a Saturday. But
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, mate.
yeah,
So do I. I'm still working, mate.
Yeah.
It's only 9:30 here for us, mate. So you're 2
You're
hours
gonna-
ahead of us.
you're gonna crank the sounds up and get the monkey shoulder out.
oh,
Yes.
he's made a new concoction. Monkey
Oh, yeah.
shoulder with apple cider and lime.
Oh,
That's terrible.
No, he
it tastes
loves
good,
it.
mate. You gotta try it.
that sounds weird.
Because the
Gin and
Coke,
tonic. Your
what
opinion's
happened
invalid.
was, the Coke was starting to hurt his tummy, so he made a new concoction, but it worked out really well.
Yeah, or you can use apple juice, lime, and monkey shoulder.
Try it, Eryn. You drink gin
Um,
and tonic.
Yeah, you don't really have a say here.
Well, I've got a mate who lives in Masterton, which is the bottom of the North Island, and he, ever since I talked about monkey shoulder coming back from being with you guys, he drinks it now.
Oh mate, it's so
Yeah.
good. Because we
Yeah.
had a guy that we knew that works with alcohol. He's a rep, and he says that what it is, how they make it, it's the bottom barrel of top-notch scotches and whiskies all put together and mixed in to make the blend, and that's why It is. It tastes so good, and it's so sort of cheap compared to most other top-notch whiskies. But yeah, no, it's good.
Mm.
Monkey shoulder, mate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, and do you know? Do I know who Staffy Girl is, or who Eureka Dog is?
Staffy Girl's a fan. She's been with us pretty much from day one from streaming.
She's a big supporter
Yep.
and we love her.
She lives in Melbourne. That's the only downfall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go Sydney FC.
Ow,
But that's
something
yeah.
just bit me.
That's pretty much it. Still getting up, mate, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the football over in Italy.
Oh,
Nothing has changed, mate.
I don't know how you do it.
Come on, we've got to support the team.
You'll be getting
mate.
up at 2 and 3 in the morning soon.
It's
Yeah, I
life,
know.
mate. It's not,
Oh,
it's
God.
not a phase. It's football. It's a proper sport.
Exciting.
Kick it with your feet.
Jacob used to watch football with girlfriend, now she's obsessed.
Oh, she's so cute. She is so cute.
You should
That's
see her
right.
now. What a
I am going to
personality.
buy an extra shotgun.
Yeah, you need to, mate.
Yeah.
She's
Alright,
the
well,
cutest.
Eryn,
She's
mate,
the cutest
thank
kid.
you for coming on the show, mate. And
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
no
Bye,
worries.
Eryn, we miss
And we will
you.
talk to you very soon. And thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, take it easy, whatever you take.
I love that line.